Sometimes, when you are walking through things in your world and you want them to be different, you know you need to speak truth. You know you need to sit in the middle of righteousness, but it gives you pause because of fear. So you hesitate. But I need you to know that everything that you want, the thing that will propel you into a better direction, is on the other side of fear. And staying in your comfort zone won't get you there. Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. I'm glad I get the chance to join you again. And today, I thought I would share a story that I heard. There was this man. He was the leader of a company. He ruled everything around him. He had all of the different things that comes with being the CEO, the shot caller, the baller, all of the things, including a very beautiful wife. You know, the type of woman, the supermodel type, the one that starts all the fashion sense for things that are around her. Well, this man decided he was going to throw himself an executive party to show off all of his riches and the plush things that he had already had around him. And in one of these party sessions, just like happens in some of those other party sessions, he got drunk, started wanting to boast about all of the things, and then he decided that he would call his wife, who was having her own party and celebration with the wives of the gentlemen that he was doing business with. Well, when she got the message that he wanted her to just be paraded around in his drunken stupor with all his other friends, she decided, I'm not doing that. I will not subject myself to that type of foolery. When the message got back to him that his wife was not coming so he can parade her around, the men that were around him started chattering in his ear. If you let your wife do that, you know how she is. She says one thing, everybody else starts doing it. And if our wives start following what she says, we will not get any respect. And on top of that, any deal that you make moving forward, people are going to start wondering, was it you or your wife? Who really wears the pants in your family? Oh, see, when his manhood was challenged, he decided, whatever, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. So he allowed the voice of people outside of him to dictate how he would function in his relationship with his wife. You see, there are lots of marriages that unfortunately end because of the chaos and the chatter from the external sources that are around you. Don't listen to all of that stuff. Times change, things happen, and no one ever really knows what's happening in your relationship. So if you are going to allow people that are outside of your relationship dictate how you function in it, you will always be in chaos. You will always have drama, and you will not live the life that you desire. And you could possibly, like this man did, ruin your marriage. So now he found himself lonely because he no longer has his wife. And his friends, the same set of friends that he was speaking to earlier, the bosses that he was working with, giving him all of this chatter, telling him that you need to get yourself another wife. They recognized, because here's something else that is often unknown and really some people miss. When you are joined together with someone that understands you, supports you, and his first wife was doing that for him. His business was booming. He was growing and elevated in so many arenas because of the knowledge bases she had. And because she was a woman in her own right, with her own skill sets, her own business sense, she had a way of bringing attention that was supportive to his business. So when his wife was gone, his business started falling. His mindset wasn't right, and he wasn't doing what he needed to for the stakeholders that was in his business, the different coworkers or the other bosses that he had with him. That was not working well. So they, the same group of people that ruined his marriage the first time, gave him this sense. Get yourself another woman. Find another person that can support you. You can't always find the equal individuals in your world. With all the stuff that's happening in this day and age, it is often difficult to find someone that's aligned with your values, that's supportive of your journey, especially if you're an individual that has a lot of money, works with a lot of riches, is then seen in a lot of line like this man was. So he decided to sort of have his own little personal dating beauty contest where he's parading different people around, seeing this woman, seeing that woman, trying to figure it out, not really sure. Does she really want me or does she want my money? When you find yourself in that position, here's the thing that I learned from this story. Stop trying to be your own matchmaker. Then a lot of you are aware because some of you have already read in my premiere book, Red Alert. Is He the One? The Pocket Guide Defining the Love of Your Life. That book is my research story in the aftermath of my divorce. It was there when I was writing out the insight from that book, having done an autopsy on my divorce. How was I going to do this thing called marriage again? I discovered that if I just turned it over to God and let Him do what He does, because God has been bringing people together from across the world for eons. You don't need to go out and find a mate of your own. Your responsibility is to be your most authentic self, to be your most amazing self, and let God do the matchmaking. Because when this man finally stopped trying to do it on his own, God was already working in the background to put him together with someone that wanted the best for him, support for him, help him through the process. So when this new woman entered into his world, where other women were showing out their bling bling, doing all the things, the external chatter says that you have to be a certain way, look a certain way, do certain things. She didn't do any of that. She decided to just show up on her own accord. And if he liked her for her authentic self, then things would go well. So when she was introduced to him, he was expecting all of the bling because he was previously married to what was considered a supermodel. Now, this new woman, oh, she was a beauty in her own right. She wasn't someone that flaunted her beauty. She wasn't someone that paraded all of it, but there's a natural beauty, a natural sense of self that all of us bring to the table. And sometimes we cloud that by covering it up with what the world says we need to bring. I want to encourage you today. Be you, your authentic, quirky self. I had to learn that when God was bringing people together, one of my sheroes in my basic instruction book before leaving Earth is a Proverbs 31 woman. There is nowhere listed what she looked like. There's no mention of her beauty. There's no mention of all of that stuff. It just talks about her virtues. You see, you being you is enough. You just showing up in your authentic self is enough. And if the man that is supposed to be in your life or the woman that is supposed to be a part of your world is supposed to be there, then they will see you. But that also requires you to be your authentic self. So when this man finally started being a little more vulnerable, showing a little more of who he was, when he was hurt, he showed his hurt. When he was in pain, he showed his pain to his woman. There, he got the opportunity to be better connected to her heart. So they had a love affair that was awesome. And where there were moments in his past where he would not let some people be in his presence because he was stern. He had an image to uphold. He had a business he had to run. He wasn't going to let anybody see him any type of way. But when she asked to come before him, when she had a longing in her heart that was causing her anxiousness, she went to him to share. But because she also knew his history, because sometimes your perceived image goes before you. Now, she knew that he was a man of caliber, that was used to having people come to his beck and call at his desire. She recognized the marriage that she was in. She also knew that she was not exactly the image keeper that the world intended for her to be. So when she had some moments when she had to just go before him, when he wasn't ready to see her, when he wasn't ready to talk to her, it caused her to hesitate. Sometimes when you are walking through things in your world and you want them to be different, you know you need to speak truth. You know you need to sit in the middle of righteousness. but it gives you pause because of fear. So you hesitate. If you have to hesitate, pause, but don't stay there too long. There are things in your life that if you have a longing on your heart, sometimes that's the prompting of the Holy Spirit. You see, there's a small whisper in the midst of each of our souls that causes us to move forward when we are afraid, to stand when we want to cower, and to be fully present in who we are, our most authentic self. When the world would tell you that you should go into hiding, that you are not enough, that you are not needed and should not be present. Put on your mask, clothe yourself the way the world says so that you can be seen, felt, or heard. That's not true. But if you move past the fear, hesitate if you must, but move past the fear. Because when she chose to stand for what she believed, because she recognized that the thing that I was brought into the earth, the thing that I must say right now, the thing that people don't often say because the chatter says don't, the culture says you shouldn't, she decided to stand. She recognized that she was built for such a time as this, to stand, to speak, to share, to show. And I want to encourage you to do the same. So when she finally moved past her fear, shared her heart with her husband, she got the opportunity to get what she asked for. And that also encouraged her to expand what she knew, sharing her knowledge with others. Because here's the thing that we often forget. There are lots of battles that we try to fight on our own, but it requires you often to have an increase in the knowledge base that you possess. Find where you need, what you need to encourage you to explore better, to increase your knowledge. Because when you have an expansion of your knowledge, it gives you an expansion of your power and it empowers you to put strategies in place that will support you. A lot of what I teach, share, and show is because of the knowledge that I had to gain along the way. And I finally got a clue. And my grandmother said, when you know better, do better. As you expand your knowledge into knowing, enhancing the skill, increasing your talents, magnifying your financial position so that you can do some other things. That increase and that knowledge is a good investment because that investment may be something that you may give to those that will never be able to give it back. But there will be a return you didn't imagine, a return that will support you in expanding in other areas. I want to thank those of you that allow me to pour my gifts, skills, and talents into you and in giving me the opportunity to know that as I share my stories, as I gain insight from you and what I share to you, it fills my soul. It encourages me in the moment. And I get the opportunity because to give you some of the things I have to give you, I want to give you, it requires me to expand what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Because knowledge gives you the opportunity to get wisdom, and applying that knowledge is all that wisdom is. When you have the wisdom to do different, fear won't keep holding you hostage. Because some of us stay stuck in fear because it's familiar. There are things in your world that you have as familiarity, so you'll sit there. But I need you to know that everything that you want, the thing that will propel you into a better direction, is on the other side of fear. And staying in your comfort zone won't get you there. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else, here's the one thing I want you to know. Move past the fear. Get the knowledge that you need so that you can move into a better direction. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, TanyaEHood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. And if you are on YouTube, join me live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can continue the conversation or we can start a new one. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose. And I want you to do the same.